right.
For some, but special shout out to black women. I've often been credited with, having these grand ideas of people like, oh, Trevor, you're so smart and and then I'm like, who do you think teaches me? Who do you think has shaped me, nourished me, informed me? From my mom, my gran, my aunt, all these black women in my life, but then in America as well. I always tell people, if you truly want to learn about America, talk to black women. Yeah, because unlike everybody else, black women cannot afford to around and find out. Black people understand how hard it is when things go bad. This is random for some, but special shout out to...
All right, so basically, do you know this guy, Trevor? No?
Yeah.
Okay. So he's done with this show, his late night show.
Yeah.
So I think I covered that a few months ago. He's moving on, but he's praising black women. So, and he thinks black women taught him everything. But he made a statement. He said, black women can't... Let me find it again. I don't want to misquote him.
People are like, oh, Trevor, you're so smart and and then I'm like, who do you think teaches me? Who do you think has shaped me, nourished me, informed me? From my mom, my gran, my aunt, all these black women in my life, but then in America as well. I always tell people, if you truly want to learn about America, talk to black women. Yeah, because unlike everybody else, black women cannot afford to around and find out.
Okay, so he said black women can't afford to fuck around and find out. I usually say that about men. Men do mess around, make mistakes, and then find out later, and then they collect. Now, I do think in general that women can afford to get away with a lot. But I also see the context of where it's speaking from a certain type of context, and I think it's still speaking to the oppression, the double layer of oppression, being a black and being a woman. And I can't argue with that, It's just stupid to argue with that, let's be honest. There's obvious, evidence everywhere, and there's history to back that up, right? At the very minimum, you can agree with the black part. So you had the women part on top of it. So I see where it's coming from. But black women are not happy with this. Are you happy with what he said, Ice?
I understand.
You get it?
Yes, I get it. But it's not. A lot of people will not get it. That's why. Even see him. Even regular posts online in our Niger. With people's comments, you will know that they don't get it. A lot of them don't get it. They just comment with you, that's how will I say, that bitterness in them, blah 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 blah. They don't get it. And first of all, in this American setting, where you now say black women, black men, that black thing alone has already eaten their head, as in they'll say, why every time this, every time that.
Right.
But he's appreciating them. He's appreciating them. So
I 100% agree with what you just said. I wouldn't say it's better than he said it. And I think we should say more things like that. If you want better out of people, you have to focus on edification, edifying people.
Exactly.
Oh, so you just pandering? No, you're being stupid. You don't understand how the human brain works. The way the human brain works is that if you praise them, right, they tend to want to do whatever you're praising them more. Particularly when we talk about relationships, of course.
Yeah,
right?
More. They'll do more of it.
Yeah, do more. Now, if you decide you want to focus on what they're negative for, the power of this universe is magnificent. It will also multiply it for you if that's what you want to do.
That's true.
Yeah, so that's one angle to look at it. Outside of the fact that we know that black women is a whole thing, that he's making a good point there, but also he's praising them, and he also told a story of how when he started this particular show, the seats were not filled like that because it's a new show, and it's black people that will fill the seats. Now, black women in particular, you know. And so yeah, it's personal for him. If it's personal for him, we don't have to force it to become a community thing, you know. That's personal to him. By the way, everything is personal, just in case you're wondering. But I wanted to go through some of this comments here. Okay, so this is the shout out to Shade Room. During this farewell speech, the Daily Show, Trevor Noah gave a special thanks to black women as he credits them for teaching him what he knows. Obviously, because he has a black mother. He mentioned that as well, right?
Yeah.
So we have Amara La Negrin says, "Wow, she appreciates it, right?" This is my sister. I am Courtney Michelle. She says, "Marry one then." Interesting. Courtney, by the way, if you're watching this, I will reach out. I'm looking for the perfect topic for us to cover. I can't wait to have you on here to introduce you to my sisters here. Mighty, massive honor and respect to every black woman, right? Black women cannot afford to find out a word whether you like the messenger or not. So a lot of people don't like him because the thing is kind of leftish, you know. So a lot of people's idea of him are skewed by the political stuff too as well. Black women can't afford to F around and find out. Realest shit I've heard this week. Okay, so this somebody is actually agreeing with him, right?
Oh.
All right, so somebody says, this is what I'm looking for. Stop pandering black women for opportunities and clout. And this looks like it's a woman who said this. It looks like it's a woman, right? A lot of women believe that there's too much pandering. See, I called it praise, right? But I also have a purpose behind praising. I'm not just asking people to just praise bad behavior. I'm saying when you see good behavior, put yourself in a position to appreciate good behavior. Put yourself in a position to appreciate good things, and stop putting yourself in a position where all you see is just bad, which puts you in a position to have to talk about bad, like talking about Erica Mena. Like, I don't want to sit down and talk about Erica Mena all day long. That's not the kind of women I have around me, right? So I know for a fact that Erica Mena belongs on TV, on the streets. That's just my opinion. Based on what I see, I don't know her personally, but it's true, right? But for me to now put all black women as they act like Erica Mena, they just tongue kiss randoms on TV. No, that's disingenuous and that's wrong. That's factually wrong in all ways. But some people mean this so badly that even when you say, "So is your mother like that?" they are willing to win this argument and tell you, "Yes, my mother was like that," just for the argument. Some people are like that. They have mothers with stories like that. But some people, it's just for the argument. They just want to win. My point here is that the generalization thing is really, really destroying the community. It's destroying more than it's helping. We have to generalize sometimes as part of our conversation, right? We have to, right? But we got to start paying attention because it's destroying more than it's building. So I have to keep pointing that out. So he's over here, it's personal to him. He told a few stories. Many people did not finish sharing the full story. All they heard is his pandering to black women. He told some personal stories. Yes, this is his career. Why are you surprised? This is talking about his career. Yes, he's chasing clout because that's what they do for a living. Where's the surprise here, right?
But a lot of people, I'm reading the comments, a lot of people really appreciated him though.
Yes.
They understood him. In short, they were all clapping. They were like, "Oh man," they were praying for him to even,
I'll tell you,
praying for him.
Let me share a quick secret with you. You know why I'm seeing enough people saying he's pandering? Like somebody says, "A child, the pandering is annoying," right? You know why I see enough of that? It's because of what I consume. You got to be careful what you consume, what content you consume, because you will see more of it.
Yeah.
Right? The people you follow probably would appreciate this commentary more, which also is a double-edged sword. It can be bad too, right? But because we want to see what's going on. pandering can be bad, but in this situation, I think he was telling a personal story. Yes, it's a multi-millionaire with a big show with millions of people watching him.
Oh.
Still, it's personal. There's nothing wrong with what he said, but like my sister Courtney Michelle said, where is the black wife? All right, so this is one of the things. Me personally, black women all the way, brown sugar all the way, as far as I'm concerned. Men that tend to be more attracted to women of other race, I do look at them sideways. Sideways because I see a pattern, right? Like I said, tend to. The key word is tend to. Not a one-off. Not you just happen to marry a white woman. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like literally everybody you've ever dated is somebody of other race. It's just what I'm attracted. It's just preference. Listen, clap for yourself. You're right about that, right? But one thing we also know, talking about numbers, is that people tend to be attracted or want their own like, right? So it doesn't mean you're wrong. It's not an indictment. It's just something that you might want to pay attention to. So I see why they may look at him, but I also, his Hollywood, there's a good chance he's going to end up with a white woman. An extremely good chance. Just because you tend to attract the people around you in your professional world, in the things you spend the most time around, right? So I'm not sure if we can necessarily accuse him and say, hey, because you didn't marry a black woman, that must mean this is not an authentic appreciation for black women.
That's why my take is that's why I say people don't understand. If you say he has never dated a black woman, which I'm not sure of, I don't know about his personal life.
Yes.
If he has never dated a black woman and he still made this statement, if I'm a white woman, I won't date him.
See, that's a good point. That's a good point.
So that means if you are a white woman and he's dating you, he's dating you probably because of any reason he's dating you for. But deep down, he appreciates black women.
Yeah.
So people don't know. That's why I tell people. Some people, they don't know. Being friends are better than lovers. When you tell some people, they don't understand that word. They think because you are a lover, you have an upper hand. No, people can easily unlove you, but they cannot easily. When they like you as a friend, they can keep you forever, whether you see you or not.
Yeah.
But as a lover, when you break up, it's as if most times it's like you are enemies.
Right.
You understand? So that's what I'm saying, that they don't even know that they are all bashing him. They don't remember him dating a black woman. Do you know some of them that they don't even know different? Some girls look like they are white, whereas they are black. They are mixed. They don't even know whether some of them that he's dating they are mixed. They don't even know, and they don't even know whether some of them that he's dating they are from another race, but they were born and bred there. They have the same white skin, so they'll just conclude that he doesn't date a colored person. Okay, but if you say he doesn't date a colored person,
that's a problem. That's a problem. The conclusion thing.
And he said this. If I'm a white, I won't date him. You don't appreciate me. What am I dating you for? So the black women, people should try and understand and just. Well, the good thing is that I'm reading out of every. Well, let's just say out of 30 comments I was able to read.
Right.
20 something appreciated him, so I'm cool.
You're good with that. So that's a fair point. So it goes to tell you, your own echo chamber, whatever you listen to the most, is not the reality of this world. It's going to take, by the way, extra effort for you to step outside of your echo chamber and see what the rest of the world is like. You're human like the rest of us, so you will be your bias is real, right?
Everybody has a bias.
Yeah, you would think like your echo chamber. It's a real thing, and if you are aware of that, you will slow down a little bit on judging. Like I said earlier, on judging anyone, even if, like I said, in my own opinion, which I keep to myself for the most part, if you tend to date, well, I still don't get to judge you, because again, the reality is that you're attracted to who you're attracted to. That's just simply the reality, right? But we might be able to pull something out that if we're doing a study or we're trying to learn something, I say, hey, there's something that irks you off of your own race, and it makes you that way. Maybe not. Just a tendency, just a possibility, right? this person, a man, probably somebody who follows somebody that I follow that I follow that some because I'm learn, the manosphere, all these talking points. That's probably why Instagram is showing me more of their of their opinions. Instagram will show me more of the people it thinks I'm supposed to think like, and that puts you consuming the same content over. It makes you talk. It makes you at a very toxic level. You continue to consume the same type of content over and over because all Instagram cares about is that you stay on their platform.
Yeah.
So if they show you varieties upon varieties, it doesn't help longevity, staying long on the platform. It doesn't help their screen time on their app, which is what makes their app rank high.
The content you like, you comment on.
Yeah.
They bring it more to you, and even on YouTube,
Yeah.
content you search for, they keep flashing when you come on your YouTube. They keep flashing and come on.
Yeah.
So, like that. Yeah, you're right.
Like this person say, seem like pandering to me since you never see him linked to any black woman. Well, the mother is a black woman. That's number one. Number two, in terms of linked, in terms of dating, why is it that we got to think about dating all the time when it comes? Why does it have to be about dating? Right?
Do you think he was using those matters as an experiment for his own show and to get information and all those things? People don't even think deep.
They don't think deep. It's just the surface. What they see is what they see. What they consume, the most part, becomes what creates their opinion, and it's a vicious cycle. And that's pretty much how any of this platform makes profit. It's a default. It's not they force you to do it, but it's also what creates value, as far as how they see value, right? Which is screen time. This person says. You're absolutely correct. Most of the comments are appreciating him, by the way. The most disrespected person in America is a black woman. That's Malcolm X.
Yeah.
Right. How y'all complaining that he doesn't date black women when he's publicly showing admiration and respect instead of bashing black women?
What I just said.
By the way, there are men on the internet as we speak bashing black women, right?
Exactly. Plenty of them.
Some of them have black wives at home.
Yeah.
Is that a good? That's not a good thing.
Okay, you see where I was coming from. Okay.
That's not a good thing. I mean, help me out. Is that a good thing? Oh, after all, I'm married to a black woman. I'm just trying to hold them accountable. Nah, bro. There's a resentment coming out of somewhere there, and we need to unpack it all the way. If we're going to have the conversation in a very authentic way, the public, if you know anything about life and power, optics is everything. If he's at least coming out and appreciating black women. The optics of that for an average person is all that matters at the end of the day. All that deep woke meanings, all that extras, go need to more. For most people at least. You're wasting energy when we could spend our energy, focus our energy on what is good and let it expand.
Another thing I noticed, I don't know his personal life, but I don't think he has a child.
Yeah, I don't think so
think
too.
He has a child.
Yeah. If he did, he's the kind of guy that would mention it.
Yes. Well, let me tell you something about people. People differ. People don't know.
Yeah.
It's just like some people too. Some people like me too. I'm just I'm not married yet at my age. You will see my age on my around the group. I'm not married. But there are things we look out for. There are things we search for. It might to some people it might be too much, but for you it's not even enough. You understand?
Yeah.
Like him. I feel I'm not saying 100%, but I just feel because me I don't think one way. I think different ways.
Right.
I will just leave it open. Whichever one is the right one that comes, I will know. Yes, I thought to that angle. I think part of the reason why he doesn't date black people is because he doesn't want a child outside wedlock. If he had been dating black,
there's more? Are you saying there's a tendency to have out of wedlock children when you date black girls?
Yes, I say with my full chest.
That's another angle entirely.
Yes, because if he was dating a black lady still, he would have had a child one way or the other outside wedlock. Because most times there's this sentiment about when you're pregnant. No, leave it. Let's keep it. It might not be ready, and to change one thing will lead to the other. They are humans, and they might not end up together. He might not be ready. I'm not sure he's married. He might not be ready, and the girl will now, So, but for those maybe for the white ones that he's dating, they come out straight to say, "I don't want kids. I'm not getting married." Those ones can easily assimilate those things because they already trained to know all those things that come on straight, tell me as you want it, and let's go for it. But our own black people,
Uh-huh.
we like commitment. We like commit. Let's commit 100%.
You
Let's
think
commit.
so? Listen, I know people. Listen, the comment is gonna go wild if they find this video, man. I know people that will argue the opposite of what you're saying. They think it's mostly white women who are more inclined to wanting to create a family life. They think most black women are not interested in family life.
No, what is family life? That's getting married. I bet he's not want to get married yet. He's not getting married yet. See, this time he didn't get me. I say, baby outside wedlock.
You did say outside wedlock, but even children, right?
That's
Okay,
the children
let's
outside
talk
wedlock.
about. Let's make sure we don't use the A word, right? You know when they buy a baby that's inside, right? Like they said, black women have the tendency to buy premature babies more than white girls. White girls tend to keep them even if it happens outside of wedlock. You're saying the opposite.
Me, to my own understanding,
Yeah.
the W people have that clear understanding right from childhood that either you want this or you don't want this. And him going for those people, he will go for those ones that don't even want it. But he will not come and tell me and you now that I'm dating that girl and the girl doesn't want kids, the girl doesn't want to get married. No, but when they were asking each other out, they've already discussed that and they've agreed. Because it's strange, somebody like him, no child, no marriage yet. It's not as if he's a do or die thing, but I'm just saying, you understand? And now people are still appreciating black women, and people are blaming him for appreciating black women and not dating one. They should think far. Me, I'm just saying that part of the reason might be because he didn't want to have kids or he was not ready for marriage and he didn't want to have kids. You'll be surprised, he's going to marry a black woman. And let me tell you one thing.
I think many black women will be happy if he marries a black woman, and by the way, many black women will be angry. That's a trigger word. Will be upset. Okay, if he ends up marrying somebody of another race, even if they're Armenian, like Kim Kardashian.
See, is it by race? Let's always try to move away from those. But now, because of the comments, that's why we're discussing this, whether color or not, But me, I'm saying, when I didn't know his personal, I didn't know he doesn't date black women. But for the fact that they said it now, or just under 20 minutes now, that's when I started processing all those things. I was processing it. I was like, probably, if he doesn't have a child yet, he didn't want to have a child. I swear to you, if he was dating a black girl since he would have had a child.
Yeah. Look at this comment. Yet he is not dating black women. All this appreciation and thanks, but no application. Shake my goddamn head.
You see, and let me tell you, all these white men are saying, we see the ones that would say they are dying for our men, Some of them, they might like our men too, but they don't want to have kids, they don't want to get married too. And if he's dating those types, we don't know now.
Well, they're talking about what he's showing in public instead of running his mouth. This just, we can see the comments here. Somebody's agreeing with you here. They said that shit does not matter, love. This is D1. If you don't accept it, that's fine. If anything, he talking about his mom and aunts, etc. First, like sheesh, we rarely get praised. And when we do, here comes an ungrateful, ignorant black woman with some bull crap to say. Jesus Christ. Easy on each other, Sha. Black women, just take it easy on each other. How about that part? Right?
And you'll be surprised that all these kind of comments people, all these kind of negative comments, these are part of the reason why he doesn't even date them too.
Yeah, because it's dramatic. So that's a good point, because are you paying attention to the behavior you're propagating yourself as a person?
Exactly.
Right? When you're busy calling other people out.
Let me tell you something. Just like you now, like me and you, we are Nigerians. We know Nigerians more.
Yeah, fact.
You understand? We know Nigerians.
I don't claim to know anything else. So hey.
So him, he knows those ladies. So if he's not dating them, he has a reason.
He has his reasons.
He has
That's
a reason.
ultimately, yeah. That's
He has
just the
a
honest
reason for
truth,
not
yeah.
taking them. And more so, another thing people don't realize. I've always said it in Auntie B's show. A lot of things are trauma response.
Yes.
A lot of
Yes.
things are trauma response. You see some things
But
that you
but they,
are
but they,
saying.
but they, but they tell you, please don't blame everything on trauma. It's the same set of people that also have the same talking
You see,
points to
yes,
corner themselves all the time. He said,
okay.
please don't blame everything on trauma. Bad behavior is just bad behavior. Okay,
Mm-mm.
exactly.
A
How
lot
do
are
you,
trauma response. A lot are trauma response.
I think
Like
most
him,
things personally.
he has thought of it that, okay, imagine him appreciating. Did you see him mention father? No. He mentioned
Mm,
auntie,
mm,
mother and auntie.
mm.
He did not mention father. Okay, so you want him now. Most of them, that's why a lot of them, that's what they were afraid of. They don't want to have kids like they had, the way their parents had them. There were
So
no
some
father figure
people's
there.
so some people's interpretation of that is that there you go. It's basically the product of single mothers that continue to destroy our community.
No, you see them.
I tell you, there's no end to this conversation. Let's just leave
Mm,
them.
okay. My
Let's just
brother,
leave
well, we've
them.
tried our best, but me, I understand
Hey,
100%.
listen, I want to appreciate you, especially my person. You know, Auntie B is still jealous of us. So, so
I'm
I
always
want.
missing that one.
So I want to
Timing.
appreciate you.
Yeah,
Anytime somebody comes up and decides to co-host with me, it elevates the conversation. There's no
yeah,
one person that knows everything. There's no
at
one
all.
moment of knowing everything. We'll continue to learn more until we bye. So